The Department of Treasury and IRS just issued the draft of a 2025 Schedule A, and I'm really excited about some of the changes. So let's dive in. Now, before we dive in here, let's remember that the standard deduction increased significantly under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, and OB3 changed some things with itemized deductions, but it reinstated the larger standard deduction. Itemizers were about 30% of the taxpayers before the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. That's down to about 10%. But I feel with the change we're going to talk about right now, the amount of people that itemize their deductions is going to significantly increase. So as you look at this Schedule A, there's one main difference between previous years and current year, and that is what's called the salt tax deduction. Now, we're not talking about the seasoning you put on your food, or if you live in the northern states, what you put down so no one slips and falls. The SALT tax stands for state and local income tax. And what's really interesting with the IRS, as you're looking at the Schedule A, is for the first time on any form, they actually use the acronym SALT. And now that SALT tax deduction under OB3 increased to up to $40,000 for married filing joint taxpayers, up to $20,000 for married filing separately taxpayers. Now, there is a phase out based on your income of the SALT tax deduction. So as you can see on Schedule A, not only are we looking in this taxes you paid section, they refer to it as SALT. Secondly, they identify the larger maximums for that SALT tax deduction, which I think is going to be the driving force in more people itemizing their deductions. And the third thing they've done is they actually put the phase out numbers right on the form instead of it having to calculate outside of Schedule A. So remember, the Schedule A, if you itemize, you're going to attach this to your personal tax return, your Form 1040, and make sure you talk to your tax professional about other strategies as far as maximizing your Schedule A deductions. And hopefully for you, if you're eligible, you can take itemized deductions instead of taking the standard deduction. For more tips, definitely subscribe to the Teaching Tax Flow YouTube channel. We're going to break down a ton of new forms. And remember, your tax return is a verb and not a noun, meaning although the activity is reported on something like this, a Schedule A, what we're working towards and what we're helping people do in this community is understanding the strategy behind the numbers that fill these forms.